The Morningstar situation rages on. Did the sticky keys mystery and hype under-deliver? And is Alliance Wars matchmaking broken? Yes, hello everybody, welcome back to the Marvel Contest of Champions news for Friday. Hope you're all well. It's been a really scuffy week with a lot of stuff with Kabam basically are taking the L for. And as well, there's been stuff when it comes to like arena death matches, which I'm not going to cover in this video, but it's going to be the focus of a podcast coming very soon. Maybe not this week, but maybe the week after. But there is a podcast as I lose my voice. And just before we do get into news, I want to give a massive thank you to my current YouTube members, Patrons, and as well Twitch subs. And if you do have an Amazon Prime account, you can actually give a free Twitch sub to your favourite streamer. It doesn't have to be me, but it massively helps me out as a creator if you can do so. Obviously follow the on-screen instructions, it will tell you how to do it, and go into the link in the description down below. And as well, if you have no means of doing any of those things, then just simply give a like, subscribe with post notifications on all. That massively helps out the channel as well, so everybody's doing their bit to support me, so thank you very much for that. But now it's news time. Where our story picks up and where obviously the news picks up is all about this Morningstar situation, still raging on with days into this, and the fact is there's still not a right answer against this. And as well, obviously there's what Kabam feel is the right way to go, what we feel is the right way to go, the information from what is delivered from what is an indestructible buff, interactions within said indestructible buff, how Morningstar and other champions should lifesteal against said indestructible buff, and it comes to general kind of grinding in game. There's a lot to go over and a lot to really explain, and also some videos and other information and Kabam responses. So let's try and bring you up to speed on this. So from a community standpoint, a response to what Kabam have done or proposing is from Jay Seibel. Now, you really should go and watch this video. It is very interesting and does deep dive the way that terminology plays a huge factor into the way that Kabam may be delivering a misunderstanding to the community based on lifesteal. And in particular talking about something called destructive feedback and the way the terminology reads and how it's then presented to you, the player, when you're grinding out against this, as obviously is on screen at the moment. The way that Indestructible works as to, is this stored damage? Is this a case that this is then stored health? And other types of things that really kind of put a more understanding to the community on the subject. Obviously Kabam have their say on this and responding back saying, I don't know where the information is coming from, but it's not true. When there are indestructible charges up or any effect that keeps a champion from taking damage, Morningstar or any other champion is not dealing any damage in those cases. I understand the frustration here, guys, but this is not just a bug that affects one fight. This is something that can and has been exploited in other areas as well and needs to be dealt with. This has never been an intentional part of Morningstar's kit, and her ability descriptions are pretty explicit about it. Obviously the biggest problem, again, and to reiterate, it seems that terminology in certain areas against what a champion, well, as we thought, was working as intended for a while, but only now we've realized that it's not, is a situation that isn't nice. It's different if this champion was released last week, and it's a case we're only finding about this now. But with this being such a long time that this has been working as it has been, it's ultimately caused a lot of frustration throughout the community. Mika goes further to kind of explain a few things on different aspects, even going like during Luke Cage's indestructible phase, he is not taking damage. Morningstar is not doing any damage and should not be healing either. Additionally, there have been abilities with similar names with different descriptions and effects before. And funnily enough, Matto comes up with something that I might be making a completely irrelevant point here, but Ghost with a tech power boost in 6.3.6 regains power when launching a special, while destructive feedback is active even though it's not based on, she really shouldn't be typing this now. And Mika comes back, this sounds like a bug. No! Oh, what are you doing, everybody? Look, if you're coming up with an argument point and you're like, okay, I think, oh yeah, I've got Kabam on this one. Yeah, take this, Kabam. It's a case that they'll probably go, oh, or we might check that because that could be a bug. So And as like Kabam have sort of reiterated, is that we are the beta players of the game still to this day, 5 years in, that we are finding out the bugs. It's not Kabam that are finding out them, it's us. So ultimately we're kind of falling on our own swords. So whoever decided that it was a good opportunity to go, oh, there might be something wrong with Morningstar on the 9th of April, thanks. At the end of the day, it looks like you've got till June in order to do this before it actually be fixed. So obviously, get your fill in. Also, I must admit, I mean, for me, I actually prefer using the likes of Dr. Doom or Beardo against this fight, just because of like the way the champion kind of eats into their block damage. So having the health recuperation that Morningstar has is pretty nice. Either way, it's a BS fight, and anything that speaks to the player's favour or the summoner's favour against like what Kabam have put in, it's nice to have that in there, but obviously it's sad that this is going to go. So I'm kind of gutted about this and annoyed because I was thinking about using Morningstar. So I'm going to have to get my ass in gear and get the champion fight done by the end of May. Now I've put in the description a link to this post here, which kind of like unfortunately closes off a forum post. Expect a lot of the Morningstar stuff to either be merged or some stuff interaction closed. This post here by Mike goes into like a great detail about the whole situation, talking about the way that terminology plays a big part in it. And this is the annoying thing, because obviously the game is 5 years old. There's a lot of things in terminology that doesn't really kind of make sense against some of the stuff with other champions. So we've got all these kind of like mismatches of what we think is going to be a fine interaction, but actually turns out to be completely incorrect. Either way, obviously, that information is there for you to check out. Next up, and let's talk about the sticky key and the whole situation with, well, did this land well? No, not for me. So as we all know, on Wednesday, the sticky key was revealed as to what its purpose was. So you effectively got to spend more energy and go up against some really scuffy boss fights. That's nice, isn't it? For an extra time. Doesn't feel like a troll too much, maybe not, but let's face it, it wasn't really the best, because I think we were hoping for something more. I mean, yeah, not to kind of like poo-poo the gold event, because hey, the extra gold is nice, but the fact is, well, was there going to be something more? I don't think it really helped that in a week that a lot of things went wrong, that Kabam couldn't really kind of look at the opportunity of going, hey, instead, let's make it a Road to Greatness event that it unlocked. Imagine that. I tell you what, that would kind of like really kind of smooth things over a lot of kind of like bad stuff that may be going down in game. So yeah, I don't know why they went for the gold over this. And yes, okay, it was gold in the title for the event we went to see, but what about a nice little surprise like this, as opposed to the other stuff that we saw with the gold and the extra path and the sticky key? And yes, I know that some people will go like, oh, it was fine, I didn't really have any problem with it. But you have to consider there are other players in this community that would go, that Sorcerer Supreme fight too many times is not great. Maybe don't like fighting Korg quite so many times, and as well having to fight Korg one extra time, so 2 times in general. Wasn't exactly the best situation for them to go up against. But that's the thing, you know, how did you feel about this sticky key event? Put it down in the comment section down below. Happy about the gold? Felt that it was okay? Didn't actually like it? Didn't get it? And kind of thought, well, this isn't really fun, but thoughts in the comment section about this. Next up, an Alliance Wars mismatching. So I've been contacted by multiple people about the fact that Alliance Wars isn't pairing up correctly. So many people have taken to the forum to say that they feel that their matchups have been incredibly wrong. There's actually 2 threads going on about this at the moment, both in which Kabam Mike has responded to, saying Alliance Wars are not solely based on any one factor, but you'll be matched up with alliances near your war rating. This is performance-based rating that changes with your alliance's wins and losses. Alliance ratings can be manipulated, so it's not good matchmaking comparison. We're continuing to work on improved matchmaking parameters with every season, and even in between, some wars will be more difficult than others. This should be another case where it's taken very seriously, especially considering that people are getting matchups where they're just spending resources to try and get through stuff, and regardless if it's at the top, at the bottom, everybody should be taken into consideration when looking at things like Alliance Wars matchmaking. So I really hope that Kabam do identify parameters where they can actually pair up fairly one alliance to another. but there will be cases where an alliance that's been, say, having a run of really good kind of performance and luck and have kind of like jumped up so much and then decide that they're not going to put any more effort, and then their rating just drops, but still they are with stronger champions, better prestige, yada yada yada, drop right down, and then it's the case they'll pair up with somebody that, well, doesn't deserve to be paired up with them. And those kind of things do need to be sorted out, and how Kabam do that is another thing. Either way, it just goes back to what I've already said. I don't like Alliance Wars. I don't think they're very well put together, and it's something that should dramatically change, or the event going in general. But again, that's my opinion, and we'll see. You know, hopefully Kabam can put something new in that maybe is better than Alliance Wars and doesn't give so much of a ball ache, ipso facto flow, siphon, exploiting, shell alliances, piloting, cooperation, you know, the list goes on. Every month is a lovely smorgasbord of everything great about Alliance Wars and alliances from a competitive nature. Okay, so Marvel Contest Champions news today has been, well, a little bit criticising and moany about Kabam. Obviously, they've taken massive L's, so obviously I'm not going to go everything sunshine lollipops, but I am going to be ending with two funny things. The first thing being a meme that was sent to me by Corey Guns on Twitter, and the second thing is a funny Call of Duty Warzone clip of Killer Beezy that I think was quite good. Oh yeah, Takeshi69, I love these memes. Morningstar is regenerating on the last 10% of 6.2 champion bots. You rat, you dirty rat. Yo, Beezy's got them mad auctioneer skills.
And live on stream, man got the money.
120 button. Sold him $1.20.
Yeah, not the greatest of weeks for Kabam. Hope they get it together next week and next event. By the way, details of which will be dropped later on at 1600 hours GMT. Check it out. Also some recent content up here, some other stuff here, and I'll see you later on for a definite stream. I will be streaming later on.